Back to the program. You're watching Citizen Extra. Let me now immediately take you to Nyeri County, where Martin Munene is on standby to tell us a little bit about matters agriculture. He is talking to the Agriculture CEC on various issues affecting the farmers of that region. Martin, kindly update us on that.
A very good morning to you, Higa Mora from Nyeri County, and today we talk matters agriculture. I am with the Agriculture CEC in Nyeri County, Henry Kinyua, who is going to help us understand some issues that have been affecting farmers in this particular region. And let us just jump right into it, Higa Mora. Karibu sana, Bwana CEC. All right, we've had some challenges in Nyeri County. We have seen when it comes to cash crops, we've seen a lot of protests from coffee farmers, protests from tea farmers over low prices of their commodity, so much so that we've seen even some resort to hawking tea as opposed to selling it through cooperatives. What is the issue?
I think most of the issues, like maybe three, you can break them into like three buckets. Number one is the production or yields. Nyeri, we still have very low yields in both tea and coffee. In terms of like now, coffee, we are producing like on average 3 kilos per bush, which is 10 years ago we were doing 10 times, even five times more than that. So we have issues there and we are addressing that. Then the second bucket we have is been the issue of the cooperatives management. We've had issues, farmers saying, they have not been able, issues of mismanagement or issues of really poor group governance, leading to various challenges in terms of the indebtedness of the cooperatives and the inability for some of the cooperatives to pay the farmers. Because the law is very clear. The farmers should be paid, receive a minimum of 80% of the final price. So the running of cooperatives should not take more than 20%. So we have challenges at that level, and also sometimes now at the pulping, the qualities and also the marketing in that chain. So those are a bit of the challenge. And how the government is looking at that, from the productivity, the yield issue, we are looking Nyeri, we have our main problem is actually the soils. And we have government in the last financial year invested significantly in providing lime to farmers to ameliorate the soils. And this financial year, the budget that was presented to the county assembly, we have budgeted. We have a budget to map out the soil map out profile and map out the soil in the entire county. And what you do that will ensure that we are very clear. The farmers understand what they need to do, what fertilizer to put at what quantity, so that we know going forward we'll be able to ensure that farmers are putting the right fertilizer at the right time in the right quantities. And then also in that budget we've included finances, or we factored in to procure mobile cell testing kits to ensure that our people, our extension agents, are able to reach to the farmers to ensure that they can test their soil and provide advice to the farmers at the right time. So I think that will address that issue. The issue of management, I think it is now cooperative. My colleague in charge of cooperatives, because cooperative is at the Department of Trade and Tourism. I know which is working on a lot in the issue of some of the laws that govern the cooperatives and ensuring management of the issues, to ensure that even the cooperatives are able to live within their bylaws. You find some of the cooperatives have very difficult. They are taking time to do elections, and then to have the same individuals staying on. Farmers are complaining, and this make it very difficult for farmers to trade. So she's really working on that. I remember like a month ago, they really intervened in one of the dairy societies in Russia, which have had a long time not been able to handle elections for various issues, and she was able with her team to go there and sort it out. And right now we have a proper new. So there's a lot happening, and also in terms of the involvement of the cooperatives, but also the other issue is also the ensuring that the laws as they are implemented. Now finally on the marketing, we look particularly in coffee is also looking at issue of increasing the transparency of the of the entire value chain. And one area that has not been is the issue of capping. Farmers, when they have their parchment, they are not sure what grades are their coffee, what is AA and all that. So in the budget that was just passed in this financial year, we are going to establish a coffee capping lab at Wabogo ATC. This capping lab will ensure that farmers, all societies, will be able to cap their coffee and ensure that they understand their quality from that stage. So even as it goes to milling, then they can go with the super, ensure that what they get from them is clearly what came from them. So that transparency will ensure, it doesn't matter whose miller they decide to sell to, but it will be very clear that the quality as it is maintained and it is rewarded.
And very, very briefly, back to the issue of cooperatives. We see a very large difference in terms of what the farmer receives. We see actually some receiving as high as 100 shillings per kilo for their coffee. We see others receiving as little as 12 shillings, 15 shillings, 20 shillings. Very briefly, why do we see such an imbalance?
I think there are three issues actually. Number one, the efficiencies of running the pulping station. Some of the pulpings, the so-called the factories, were established when those factories were producing maybe 10 times of that. So when the yields go down, that have actually affected. It means that the cost of running this has gone up, and that now is one way that it reduces the price being paid. Secondly, is also, as I said, there are really incidences of poor management, where maybe